Hello everyone, in these videos I'll help you master the art of land battles in this game and teach you most of the secrets and tricks that Ikariam has. I will start with the basics and then go up with each video. There are many topics that I'm going to explain, for example, types of units, fronts, best attacking strategies, waving, hopes, giants, zeros, and talking about ammunitions, how it works, walls, battle size, how to start a battle, and how to end them, and several other important topics. And I'm going to use the Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator to make small simulations of how the battle works in how the land battle works in Ikari. First, I will show you some of the important study materials that I used before to learn more about the land battle. Okay, so first of all, I will start with my favorite, which is written by the Brazilian team manager Babs, the Brazilian server forum, which talked about all the aspects of land battles in details. So I really highly recommend it. It was actually written in Brazilian, but you can just easily, in Portuguese, sorry, you can just easily translate it to English. So as you saw, just write translate to English, and you can just read everything and understand every single point that you need in the Ikariam land battles. Okay, this is the first one. Let's go with the second one. It's This is written by this amazing player called Sky in the French server. You can also just translate to English, and you can just read whatever you want, understand everything that's important about the land battle in his point of view, of course. While for the third recommendation, it's in the Italian server by Pax. Here he is talking about the waving. It's also a material that should be looked at. So at least have a look at it. Maybe he has some mistakes or something. Have a look at it and give me your doubts and comments. Then of course, then is this amazing player. He wrote some details. Like if you want to go really deep in the battles and how the calculation is made, then check it out. Check this file. It was really amazing. And I don't really believe that it will help you become a better player. It will more likely make you like understand how the game works only, not make you like a professional in Ikari. No, it will help you understand what's this game like how it works, how the calculation is happening, and stuff like that. Okay, and of course, if you want to calculate the losses, if you want to calculate the losses, then you can first start with this amazing calculator that was made by Art in the form also. You can also just translate it to English. Then, for example, right here, for 10,000, then press count. You can just know how many generals does it take. Okay, so check it out. I will put all the links already in the video down. And after that, for the materials, let's go for the materials outside the Ikarian form, starting with the famous Ikarian fandom. Fandom, you can find literally everything you want to know about Ikarian. Everything. You can search in Google, you will find it. You can search here, there's search options. Whatever you want, just search for it and then write fandom or write wiki or something, and then you'll find it out. Okay? This is just an example of some the details in the land battle. I'm actually going to open it later for explaining some points. Then then for the next website, which is my favorite website, the Ecalogs. Here you can use the general calculator tool also to help you calculating the losses. Also, you can check out the battles. Check the battles. For example, this is one of my battles. I uploaded it before. And just check it out. Look at the losses, look at everything that you need, everything that's important here. There's a lot of tools calculating the wonders. So yes, this is an important website to check. And finally, the final website that I recommend is this also amazing website. It's actually in German, even when you in English, but still there's an amazing general's calculator. There is Garrison Garrison limit calculator also. So and some other amazing calculators. You should check it out. So yes, this is my recommendations for study. I hope that you all have a look at them to get to understand more about Ikariam. And yes, let's go for the next part now. So let's first start talking briefly about each unit and what to use and what to avoid. We have in total 15 land units. We'll start with the long-range fighters. So the long-range fighters' job is to fire and weaken the heavy infantry. So the front line. We have starting with slingers and archers. These units don't use them. Never use them. They are too weak and considered useless. So never, ever, ever use these two units. Okay? Unless if you are in a new server and you didn't finish the research of the guns, then yes, use some archers until you reach the guns. Okay? So the third unit, as you said, as I said, guns, or some people say shooters, some people say snipers, but their official name is hard actually. Silver Carabiner, I think. So yes, that's why people have other names for it. So these are the only long range fighters to use, but you must protect them. Maintain heavy infantry, the front lines, flanks on the side, and artillery to take the damage from balloons. If you do this, you will never lose any sniper, any gun. The only other issue to worry about them is the ammunition. So each unit will fire for 3 rounds only, and in the large battles, 84 guns will take the battlefield at the time, and the ammunition is shared across all the similar troops in one battle. Then let's go for the light infantry. Light infantry units are vital for the protection against flank attacks, so they will occupy the flanks. Start with the spearman. Also, never use them. Never use them. They are too weak and only used in the war server to loot gold. This we can maybe later make one video about the war server. So there it's really important, yes. But in the normal other servers, we don't use them. Okay. Okay. Now with the heavy infantry, there are three heavy infantry units, which are hoplites, steam giants, and Spartans. They are all equally important in the battlefield, and they should all be waved and cycled in a professional way. Hobs should be your units of choice for the front line in the battle if you do not plan to use, sorry, to wave or cycle steam giants. Always bring doctors with your hoplites because doctors are important for maintaining their health and for the spearmen health. I would suggest around 30 to 35 doctors on average. Okay, for Spartans, they are only bought with Ambrosia, as you know, so it's not really considered an official playing unit and usually only used in new servers since it's a little expensive, as you know. So in the first usually 2 to 3 weeks, people start buying Spartans to show off or something. Then no one buys them anymore. Then now for the Steam Giants. Steam Giants are indeed stronger against hoplits, but they need to be keep sorry, you need to keep cycling them all the time. In the big battle where you cannot wave Steam Giants, if you are facing any mortars or catapults or maybe not having enough reaction points, hoplits are your best choice because if you have a cap on the amount, you can lose usually 134 amount when all slots are filled in the battlefield for the hubs. So basically, what happens when fighting with steam giants, after each round, the total damage taken by the steam giants are shared across all. Sorry, happened. Okay, so are shared all across the live steam giants in the battle. So after about 5 6 rounds, you will start see the number of steam giants dying increase. Actually, not 5 6. Usually after second, third round, you start seeing it increasing, and then the hit point starts getting really low. So if left in a long enough time, you can lose up to 86 steam giants every round. This is where it's good to send hoplits. You do not have to worry about the compounded hit points losses for the hoplits. So, like as they die too quick, basically each round you lose around 80 to 135. So this is of course an extreme example, but if you are losing more than 32 steam giants compared to 134 hoplits, then you are losing damage. For the air defenses, we have two units. First is the gyrocopters. Gyrocopters can attack. Sorry, I don't know why this keep happening. Gyrocopters can attack other air units, starting with the balloons. They start attacking the balloons, and then they attack other gyrocopters if there is no balloons. Okay. Then the other air unit is the balloons. They will first attack the opponent's artillery, then they will start attacking the long range fighters. Okay, so the gyrocopters and the balloons. Now with the artillery. Artillery is also the most, okay, I should explain this more. It's the heart of the game. Like artillery is how you know if this player is good or not. Why? No, this will control the losses, will control the your losses, the enemy's losses, everything. And later you will understand more about this. So the artillery in general are essential for breaking down the higher level town walls, so providing large amount of attack power. Your first attack the opponent's wall. If the opponent has no wall remaining, the damage will start going to the front line, which is, as I told you, it's the most crucial part. We have three units: battering ram, catapult, and mortars. Starting with the battering. Let's take a look at the simple battering. The official guide says that it's only breaking the walls and gates. What it doesn't tell you that the rams, contrary, actually, it's as you can see here against the enemy gates, and then as you can see, yes, as you can see here, it's only used for gates. But what it doesn't tell you is that it's actually an artillery piece. So it's same as a catapult or mortar. It's powerful enough to attack the front lines of the enemy, and also it takes the damage of the. So it's the most important part to take the damage against the balloons. If the enemy sent balloons, you should place battering ram. It will not. It will take really slow damage. You rarely lose much, much units. So you should always place them. They are your number one artillery option for you. Always, always choose them. Okay. So yes, so they are important to protect the long-range troops from the balloons. Since they are very strong against balloons and can take the damage. And yes, that's the first one. So with the second option is the catapult. It's not very common to unit to use actually. They are like between rams and mortars. So not very effective for walls, but also doesn't cause much damage to steam giants. Yet they are better than rams when attacking steam giants, and at the same time has less general points than mortars. So losing them doesn't cause much damage as mortars does. And finally, the mortars. Mortars are expensive and slow to manufacture, and they are really weak. They can get destroyed easily, but it's the best option against the walls and the best option against the steam giants. So they are the only type of siege machines actually that can break a wall above 30. And they are also against, as I said, against steam giants, scoring almost a kill for every shot. But their biggest issue, why I'm saying it's very important, is that if you lost them, you lose a lot of damage, a lot of loss difference, a lot of percentage. So you should never ever lose your mortars. They are like a deal breaker. Uh, Rounds and rounds of hard work can be just destroyed with one round of losing some mortars. So be okay. Now let's go for the support units. Support units occupy the reserves. They will not engage in combat, and thus the battle will end if an opponent has only support remaining troops. So first of all, the doctor will restore the health of your hoplites and swordsmen, and this is important for and usually sorry is around 35 is more than enough. 30 to 35 is usually enough. And then for the cooks for for restoring the morals. Okay. Also, usually I use 30 to 30. This is it. Now let's talk about the speed of the land units in the same island. In 95% of the servers, the speed is the same, except in two servers: the war server, where the speed is triple the normal speed, and in Pangea 4, where the speed is double the normal speed. Let's have a look about the main speeds. You have mainly four speeds, starting with the gyrocopters. It takes 7.5 minutes to reach the battle, which is very important, and that reach the battle very fast. Then you have around 10 minutes. Most of these units takes 10 minutes. As you can see here, 10 minutes to reach, 10 minutes for the hoplits. And then you have 15 minutes. Most all the artillery takes 15 minutes. You can see here the rams, the mortars, and also for the giants it takes 15 minutes. And then lastly, you have the balloons. They take 30 minutes. So it's very, very important to calculate your timing, to understand everything's happening in the island in order to reach the battle in the exact round. Let's have a quick look on the other two exceptions that I told you about. Here you can see here, this is the war server. I'm going to send an attack for another player. You can see here that the hoblet takes 3.5 minutes only, 3 minutes 20 seconds to reach. And now you have the gyrocopter takes 2 minutes 30 seconds only to reach, while for the balloons it takes 10 minutes only. So triple the speed, triple the speed, 5 minutes for the catapult. And now let's check the Pangea 4 server. This is Pangea 4. I'm going also to show you where it's double the speed. For the hoblet, it takes 5 minutes, where usually it takes 10 minutes. For the gyrocopters, it takes 3 minutes 45 seconds, where usually it takes 7 minutes 30 seconds. And for the artillery, it takes 7.5 minutes, where usually it takes 15 minutes. Now going back to our server, as we said, the balloons takes way too long time. As we said, it takes 30 minutes, which is a lot. Sometimes you need urgent balloons to destroy the enemy mortars. So what's the solution here? The solution is sending from another island. Now I have an activated Poseidon. As you can see, level 5 activated Poseidon. So my ships will be faster, double the speed. And by that, I'm going to send from another island, I'm going to send my balloons. Sending the balloon will take only 7.5 minutes. So it's more than triple the speed. That's the best solution to send balloons from to the battle. But of course, in order to do that, you need to control the sea, or else you will not be able to do anything. So here, if the sea is not controlled, it will not enter the battle. But if it's controlled, it will go directly in 7.5 minutes. So everything is much faster by doing that. Okay, now we talked about the speed of sending a unit. What about taking the unit back, retreating the unit, going for withdrawing a specific unit? I'm going to withdraw all these units. This is here a mortar, this is here mortar with hoblet in order to show you the difference. Here you have a gyrocopter, here you have a balloon, here you have a hoblet. I'm going to withdraw all of these units from the battle. Okay, one. And then I will show you what will happen after withdrawing them. Okay, usually what happens is, and also this is from another island, I'm going to withdraw it. Usually what happens is that you will get the same time that took before plus 1 hour. So this, you will see that it will take 1 hour, 15 minutes. This will take the same for the highest speed. Then this will take one hour, 7.5 minutes. This will take 1 hour, 30 minutes. This will take 1 hour, 10 minutes. So taking them back will take 1 hour plus the speed of the unit itself. So now fast forwarded, you can see here that this round will end. And let's see what will happen to our units. As you can see here, as I told you, the balloon will take 1 hour, 30 minutes to get back to my city. For these two units, it will take the longest, which is the mortar. It will take 1 hour, 15 minutes. For the mortar alone, also 1 hour, 15 minutes, sorry. For the hoblet, 1 hour, 10 minutes. And for the balloon, it will take 1 hour. Sorry, this one is from the other island. The balloon that was sent from the other island will also take 1 hour plus the route, which is 7.5 minutes. So it's very fast. And here it will also take 1 hour, 7.5 minutes. Five. Now let's talk about loading time of your army. Assuming that I want to move these balloons to another island, the loading time will be the same no matter what I did. Even if I sent it in one time, for example, here I send it at the same time, it will take around 5 minutes. And even if I took it on portions, let's take it on portions, 3 portions, for example. This is the first portion. This is the second portion. And this is here the third portion. The loading time will also be the same. The total loading time will be 5 minutes for all of them. But there's one trick that many players don't know actually, is that the loading time in the cities that you are occupying is different if you are sending in one portion or another portion. Let's see an example here. This is a city that I'm occupying here, land occupation. And I want to move the army to another island. Let's move this army to this city. Moving the army in one portion will take here around 22 minutes. Okay, so I need 22 minutes to take this army there. But if I want to move faster there, I can just take it on portions. Just take it, divide it on as much as you can. I have 7 action points. Let's divide them as I can. Okay, let's, for example, just randomly send it like this. Okay. You can see here that I can upload all the units in less than 6 minutes. So it's divided. If I divided it all, it can also reach around 5 minutes or less. So I can go like around 70, 80, 90% faster sometimes in the uploading speed. But you need a lot of action points, and also, yes, sorry, only you need a lot of action points, and then you need to divide it to go faster. Let's start talking about the battle sizes. You mainly have 5 battlefields, starting with the first level, the town hall level, which is between 1 to 4. Here you don't have flanks, so you don't have spearmen. Then you have the next level between 5 to 9, sorry, where you start having the flanks. Then you go for the next between 10 and 16, then between 17 and 24, and then the final and the main battlefield between 25 and above. You can read more in the fandom page about this. Let's go a little deep into the big battle size and see how the distribution is really working. Mainly, as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of units. Starting with the air units, the balloons go 15 by 15. Only balloons comes here, this left corner. Then on the top right corner, only gyrocopters go 30 by 30, so a total of 60. Then on the flanks, you can have 6 fields, each with 40, either swordsmen or spearmen. And the distribution order is starting with the swordsmen, then going with the spearmen. Then let's go back for the artilleries. You have five fields, each with 6, so the total of 30 artillery units, which are either mortars, catapults, or rams, each with 6. The distribution order also starts with mortars, then catapults, then rams. So the priority comes for the mortars, then the catapults, then the rams. Then now let's go for the middle field. You have the guns, 12 each by 7. Then you have the priority goes to the archer, 50, then the slinger, 50. But as we said before, never use these, they are useless. Now let's go for the front field. You have hoplites. You have also Spartans, not mentioned here. And then you have steam rams. So the priority comes for the hoplites, 50 hoplites, a total of you can engage in one round around 350 hoplites. Or steam giant, then sorry, it goes for the Spartans, also same as the hoplet. What comes second in the priority, then goes for the steam giants. Now let's see in reality what happens in the battlefield, how the distribution order is really happening. Let's start with the support units. They will not engage in the battlefield, they will stay outside. Okay, then let's go for the air units. You have the balloons and the gyrocopters. They will not interfere with each other. Each one has its own slots. Then let's go with the front field. Mainly in the front field, you have 3 units, as we said, hoplites, steam giants, and Spartans here. The priority always comes for the hoplites. So assuming that I have full steam giants here, if I added any hoplet, it will come to the battle directly. But if we did the opposite, if we have, for example, here 350 total hoplets, and then I sent steam giants, it will not participate in the battle. So the priority first comes for the hoplet. After the hoplet, for the Spartans. So even here, if I added Spartans, they will not interfere in the battle. But if the opposite was happening, if I had Spartans before, and then I added hoplets, it will directly go to the battle. Okay? So the priority comes for the hoplets. Let's show you again. Sorry. Okay. If I added now one hoplet, it will come directly in the middle. This means it's the first unit. If I added more Spartans, it will also interfere in the battle directly because it comes second in priority. So it's before steam giants, but the first is for the hoplet. Okay, is it clear now? Now let's go for the side units. The priority also comes for the swordsman. Assuming if I added the full swordsman and then I sent some spearmen, they will not interfere in the battle. But if the opposite happened, if I have 2 spearmen, then I added here I have spearmen. If I added the swordsman, they will participate in the battle instead of the spearmen. Okay, let's now finish this. Let's go for the mid sides. The priority always comes for the guns. So even if we have now the slingers and the archers, if I add the guns, they will come in the middle, which is the priority. It will start coming in the priority. And if I added it a fully 84, it will just fill all the slots. So this will not participate unless there's no enough guns or there's no ammo. Okay. Now let's go back to let's go to the back with the artillery. The priority, as we said before, comes for the mortars first, then the catapults, then the rams. So if I have the rams in the beginning, then I will add one catapult. You see, it's engaging in the battle. But if I added mortar, it will come as a priority. So adding more mortars, sorry, adding more mortars will make them the priority in the battle. But whatever whatever quantity of catapults I add, they will not engage because the priority comes for the mortars first. So let's do the opposite. If I have now catapults here and I'm adding mortars, you see the mortar is coming as a priority. Mortars, mortars, mortars. And the opposite, if I have here now rams, I'm adding catapults. The catapults will come as priority, but as you see here, the priority comes for the mortars. So this is how the priority works. Whatever is in the middle has the priority. Here you have the hoplites, here you have the guns, here you have the mortars, then you have the catapults, here you have the Spartans. The priority is very, very important later for waving. Waving is all based on priority, distribution order of each unit. Now let's talk about the inland garrison limit and the action points. These two are very, very important for the land battle units. The action points, it's what allows you to move, to send waving, to send ammunition, to send whatever you need. And the garrison limit is what dictates the battle size and whether the town wall will participate or no. So if the defender has less than this size, this number of units, then the wall will interfere in the battle. You will attack and you will see a wall in front of you. But if the defender has more than these units, then the wall will not interfere until the defender's units are less than this number. Okay, and how to calculate this? It's calculated by 50 multiplied by the town wall level plus 50 multiplied by the town hall level plus 250. It's a standard for the first level. Okay, so let's see it more in this amazing website, Ika Tools. I don't know who made it, but it's great actually. Okay, so let's give an example. My unit, which I told you about, 32 here, and then I have 30. So you can see that the garrison limit is 3,350, same as what I showed you before. Let's check out another city maybe. Which city, for example, this city, no, also 30, 32. Yeah, I forgot which city I have. Which city do I have? Moment. I have all 32. Yes, I have, for example, here this city 33. You can see it's 340, so one extra level, all with the same town hall level. So 3,400 inland garrison limit. So this, you need to understand this, and you need to always calculate what is the garrison limit of your cities, whether the town hall will participate or no. What is the size of the battle you want? If it's less than that, then the size of the battle will be the size of the town hall, sorry. And based on the levels that I told you before, the 5 levels that I already mentioned before, 1 to 4, etc., plus 25. So the size of the battle will be dictated on the garrison limit and whether the town wall will participate or not. Then for the action points are based on the town hall level only. Every 4 levels, will give you additional action points. starting with 3 for your own city and 1 for the if you are attacking a city or if you are in any city that other than your city. Let's see, for example, here level 1 you'll have 3, and in your friend city you'll have 1 action points. If I have now 3, it will also stay the same. If I go with 4, you will have 4 action points in your city and 2 in the unfamiliar city. Now going for 7, it's the same because it's only 3 levels, so you need 4 additional levels. So going to 8, we'll have 5 by 3, and it's not related to the town wall at all. If you have 2, if you have 20, if you have 10, the same action points. The town wall will only affect the garrison limit. It will not affect the action points at all. So as I said, let's go for 12. You will see that you have 6 action points in your city and 4 in the other city, and so on. So please be careful about the action points and the garrison limit. The hoplets, this will be the hoplets. This is a 50 hoplet. So in each field, you'll see each 50 hoplets. Then we will go for the steam giants. I didn't actually find steam giants, so I'm just going to use the trolls or giants, normal giants. This is how 16 giants will be. Each field will have 16 giants as usual. Then we will go for the swordsmen. For swordsmen, as you know, we have 40 swordsmen. So this will be our swordsmen in our battles. Then for the guns, you know that we have 12 guns. This will be our guns. It's, I think, French soldiers. So yes, 12 guns in each field. Then moving forward to our archers. We don't use much archers, but it looks cool. So I use it in some of my videos. This is how 50 archers would look like. Now going for the artilleries. These are the mortars, 6 mortars. Then the rams. I didn't find any rams, to be honest, but that's why I'm going to use tanks. Yeah, it's the closest that I found. So tanks will be our solution. And then finally our catapults. So this will be also 6. Okay, 6 by 6. Then also mortars, archers, guns. I add the units that I showed you before to meet the Ikariam distribution units. I started with the sides, 120 swordsmen from both sides. Here 120, 120, then 120, 120, as you can see for the 2 teams. Right. Okay, then here I've added 350 hoplets for 1 round. Then here I've added the 350 archers also. This is how it would look like in reality. 350, 350. Then I've added the rams, 30 rams from this side. Then on the other team, I'm doing some waving with some giants, steam giants. I'm doing 32 by 32 steam giants with 150 hoplets. Sorry. And the other side, I've added 350 hoplets. Here I've added 84 guns, and then for the mortars, 30 mortars. This is how it would look like a real Ikariam battle would look like. Let's see. Actually, it's not really balanced. So I will start the battle, but it would be a little funny. In the future, I will I will arrange it to be more balanced and make some explaining topics about this. I will do some explaining about this topic. Okay, let's start. Boom.